Another week, another topic. This week we are looking at locomotion, and I'm your biology tutor, Mr. Philip Kaum. So at the end of this video, you are going to learn the definition of locomotion, types of skeleton, and cartilage. Now this topic we're going to have two parts, okay? And this is part 1. So let's start. What is locomotion? Locomotion is the movement of an entire organism from one position to another. It is the movement of an entire, underline that word, entire organism from one position to another. So as I am studying here, if I change my position, this is what we call locomotion. Why? Because I have moved my entire body from that place, from that position to this position. That is what we call locomotion. Now, organisms like trees, they do not locomote. They only move parts of their bodies. Okay? They do not locomote. They only move parts of their bodies. Now, the word locomotion and movement can mean the same thing. But all locomotion is movement, but not all movement is locomotion. Let me repeat that. All locomotion is movement, but not all movement is locomotion. I can be standing here and I am moving my hands like that. This is movement, but it's not what? Locomotion. But I can stand here, then I change my position. This is movement, and again it's locomotion. So all locomotion is movement, but not all movement is locomotion. I hope you are clear on that one. So animals are the ones that carry out locomotion, like you and I. We locomote when you're moving from one position. That is locomotion, and animals carry out locomotion. Now for locomotion to take place, the skeletons and the muscles are the ones that help us to carry out locomotion. Skeletons and muscles, they are the ones that help us to carry out what? Locomotion. So let's start by looking at skeletons. What is a skeleton? What is a skeleton? Has it ever come to your mind? What is a skeleton? A skeleton is a firm structure that provides your body with mechanical support and provides protection to the delicate parts of your body. Okay, it provides what? 1, mechanical support, and it provides 2, protection to what? Delicate parts of the body. Now, like your heart and lungs, those are delicate parts of your body, and they are protected by the rib cage. So the skeleton provides protection to the delicate parts of the body, and it provides mechanical support for you to be able to stand, for you to be able to walk, for you to be able to run, for you to be able to do whatever you're doing. You need support, and your skeleton provides you with that. Now we've got 3 types of skeletons. We've got 3 types of skeletons. We've got 1, hydrostatic skeleton, 2, exoskeleton, 3, endoskeleton. Hydrostatic skeleton, exoskeleton, and endoskeleton. So let's start with the hydrostatic skeleton. Now the hydrostatic skeleton is a type of skeleton that is made up of watery fluids. Okay, it is made up of watery fluids, and it is found inside the body. And this type of skeleton is mostly found, it's found in soft-bodied invertebrates such as slugs, worms, earthworms. All those, they have got this type of skeleton called the hydrostatic skeleton. Now the watery fluid provides the organism with protection and support for movement. Now if you look at the diagram that we have, we can see that we've got the circular muscles and we've got the longitudinal muscles. We've got the circular muscles and the longitudinal muscles. These 2 muscles, they contract in turns, meaning when the circular muscle contracts, the longitudinal muscle relaxes. When the longitudinal muscle contracts, the circular muscle relaxes. Now that contraction will produce a peristaltic wave, which is going to result in movement. I hope you are clear on that one. So this type of skeleton is found in soft-bodied invertebrates. organisms that do not have the spinal cord. Let's look at another type of skeleton, which is the exoskeleton. Now, the exoskeleton is a type of skeleton that is found outside the body of an organism, and it is found in arthropods, like insects. Okay, it is found in insects. Now, this skeleton in insects is also called cuticle, and it is largely made up of polysaccharides called chitin. Okay, CHITTIN. It is largely made up of polysaccharides called what? Chitin. So this type of skeleton is found in arthropods, examples insects, and in insects it is also called cuticle, right? And it is largely made up of polysaccharides called chitin. Another type of skeleton that we have is the endoskeleton. The endoskeleton. This type of skeleton is found inside the muscles of the body. It is found inside the muscles of the body. And organisms that have got this type of skeleton are vertebrates, those that have got the spinal cord, like the fish, mammals, birds, all those, they've got this type of skeleton called the endoskeleton. Now, the endoskeleton of a vertebrate fetus is largely made up of cartilage, while the endoskeleton of an adult is made up of bones and small amounts of cartilage in areas where there is need for flexibility. Now, what you're supposed to know is that there are some organisms whose entire endoskeleton is made up of cartilage. And an example of such organisms or vertebrate are cartilaginous fish, like the shark. So there are some organisms like the cartilaginous fish whose entire skeleton is largely or entirely made up of cartilage. Now, what is this cartilage? What is the cartilage? And I'm sure you've tasted, you've seen this cartilage, because when you're eating your chicken, and then at the end of bone, you're going to find something that is white. That thing is called cartilage. Okay. Now, let's look at the definition of cartilage. What is the cartilage? Cartilage is a firm, flexible, rubber-like tissue made of living cells and collagen fibers embedded in a matrix of chondrin or chondrin. Okay, so it's a firm, flexible, rubber-like tissue. That's what you're supposed to know. It's a firm, flexible, rubber-like tissue. Now, this rubber-like tissue is important. Why? Because it reduces friction on joints. It's found on joints. If you look at my fingers, I'm able to do that because at every joint you are going to find this tissue, and this tissue reduces what? Friction. Okay, let's look at some of the functions of the cartilage, that being the first. So number 2, you can say that it forms or it's the main material for a fetus, for the endoskeleton of a fetus. It is the main material for the endoskeleton of a fetus. And number 3, it prevents the trachea from closing even when you bend like that, because the trachea is largely made up of cartilage. Even when you bend like that, your trachea will still be open. Why? Because this tissue is flexible. Therefore, it prevents your trachea from closing. Okay, that's another function of the cartilage. So this has been part 1 of the video. Watch out for part 2, and yeah, the assignment will be sent, the quiz will be sent. Make sure you submit the assignment on Friday, and the quiz, submit it on Wednesday. Stay blessed and watch out for part 2.